Is your desire to become more productive becoming toxic? Well, stop the scroll and let's take a look at the reasons why this is happening and how you can solve this problem. All right, let's get started. So, there are some signs that happen when you are becoming toxic with your productivity approach. And so the first one is when you can't stop being busy, right? You want to be busy all the time. You can't sit still. You can't just simply relax. The second one is when you spin your wheels, but you're still demanding yourself to get done. So think about this, like, have you ever sat at your desk forcing yourself to try to get something done, but you're really just spinning your wheels. You're on social media. You're scrolling through things, reading a bunch of stuff, trying to find files. You're just like sort of wasting time, right? And you're not really getting something done. You're not actually being productive. And the third one is when you sit without movement for a lot of breaks and you're just extending that period of time where you're sitting at your computer for hours and hours and hours on end. And so here's what you can do about it. So the first one, when you can't stop being not busy, a way to do that is to do a daily scrum every single day. So I like to do that daily scrum at the end of my workday. That is when I find it to be most successful for me. And the reason why is because the daily scrum allows you to sort of recap what you did, kind of wrap up, take notes. I like to take notes in my cards where I'm tracking the tasks that I'm working on, and I make notes to myself inside those cards so I know exactly where I left off for that particular task. And then I can pick up the next day if it's something that takes me a little bit longer. So try doing that, a daily scrum. You can do it in the morning. First thing, so you can plan out your day and then do it in the evening. It only takes a few minutes and it will help you to let go so you can step away from your desk with confidence and not have that feeling of everything running through your brain and constantly having to feel busy. The second one, if you're spinning your wheels while you're sitting at your desk, it's definitely time to get up and take a break, right? Because you're not being productive anyway. Your brain is on overload. You need to step away and take some time to process. So, I was reading a book once about babies when my kids were babies, and I was reading about how, how they lock up, they kind of just lock up for a little bit while. I mean, we all do it, adults do it too, but babies do it a lot. And the reason why is because they they're actually filing away all the information that's being processed, right? They're like a little sponge, right? And so they are processing, filing things away in their mental file cabinets and getting ready for the next dose of input that they're going to have. And it's the same way with you. If you are struggling and spinning your wheels, your brain needs some time to process everything that you've been doing, to file things away, to to organize your thoughts and organize everything in such a way that you can retrieve it again. And that's where that sleep process comes in too. It's the I don't think it's not REM, because REM is when you're dreaming and your brain is very active, but there's a period of time when you go into a deeper sleep, and that sleep time is critical, and it doesn't happen until later on in your sleep. So if you're not giving yourself enough hours of sleep, you may not go into that critical period of time when your body and your brain is filing away everything that you've processed, everything that you've learned, and filing it away so that you can retrieve it later on. And that may be why you're struggling to remember things, right? Because you're not giving your brain enough time to process things and file it away where it can be retrieved again. And so the third one is if you sit without movement for a lot of breaks, that's not good for your physical health and your mental health. Your physical health, you could start having all kinds of health problems by not moving around enough. We all know that exercise and moving around is what keeps our bodies healthier, so we don't go into chronic disease like blood pressure, blood sugar problems, that sort of thing. So take a transition every couple of hours. So what I mean by that is if you have task or something that you're working on that's longer than 2 hours, try to find a milestone that you can reach in just a couple of hours, and then take a break and, walk away, get some exercise, do something else, just do something else completely. And do that transition work, all the time, even in between tasks. So if you're going to transition from one task to another, take some transition time for yourself. Maybe go for a walk. You could even go do laundry or something. It doesn't have to be non-work related. You don't have to go sit and just stare, but to take that time to transition, to give your brain some time to file away everything that you've learned, everything that you've been doing, and sort of reset your brain and recharge a little bit for those next tasks. Now, one of the things that I like to do, and I've always liked to do in the IT world, is to have one larger project that I'm working on and then several smaller projects. And the reason why is because usually the larger project is going to have more stumbling blocks, more obstacles that I'm going to face. And having those little smaller projects, I can still be productive and get some things done, but I'm actually transitioning my mind to some other task and allowing my brain to focus on that, where it gives my brain some space, right, from the big project that I was working on, so I can process and kind of get out of that whatever mental block I was having, or the frustrations. Maybe I was having, some sort of an obstacle that was causing me frustration. I can let go of that, get on something else, get myself a quick win with something smaller, and then I can transition back into that larger project. So, and whenever I do that, I am much more productive, I get much more done, and I'm a lot happier. Okay, so those are the things that I wanted to share with you to help you to make sure you're not getting into that toxic behavior of being too productive and toxic productivity, but instead making sure you're giving yourself breaks, you're giving yourself transition periods so that you can transition and maybe get some exercise during the day, multiple times a day, get up and move around. Don't just sit at your desk for endless hours, especially if you're spinning your wheels. You don't want to do that. Okay. All right. So this month we are is all about productivity, and I'm giving out a new free workbook. It's called 10 Ways to Improve Your Productivity, and it's a way for you to also help stay away from becoming toxic, right, with your productivity. So I hope you check it out. You can grab it at thescrumshop.com/productivity. thescrumshop.com/productivity. Okay. All right, guys. I will see you in the comments. Thanks. Bye.